Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my spoiler thoughts and review for episode 4 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But before we get into it, if you guys are new around here and you guys like the content that I make, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. But without wasting any more time, I got to start talking about this jam-packed episode. And right from the beginning of this episode, my mind was blown. I thought that they were going to show a Wakanda flashback at some point in this series, but I felt like they might have been doing it towards the end of the show, whenever they were fully showing Bucky transforming into the White Wolf. But no, they did it literally right when the episode started. I was like, okay, what is this place? And then it was Wakanda, and I was literally like, I was shaking. I promise you guys, I was literally shaking when I realized it was Wakanda. And then him talking to the soldier from Wakanda, and that whole conversation between them, and then the girl showing saying all those super soldier trigger words, and then him like kind of being free of that. It was just such an emotional experience. I almost shed a tear. I don't think I actually cried, but I might have. Maybe I just don't remember properly. But yeah, I was on the verge of tears from what I remember, and it was such a great flashback. I knew that we had to see it at some point in this series because it goes so deep into Bucky's history, and I really truly love what they did with Bucky's backstory. And this little part, literally the beginning snippet of this episode, shows why this show is so great in explaining these characters' backstory. I really hope we get more emotional flashbacks like that for Bucky as the series moves on. We have about, I think, 2 episodes left, 2 more weeks of this show, and I literally could not be more excited for this show. I'm so excited to see where Bucky's character goes from here. And the super soldier, I mean not the super soldier, the soldier from Wakanda, I keep forgetting her name, so I'm not going to say her name. I'm just going to be referring to her as the soldier from Wakanda. She mentioned Bucky as the White Wolf right before the title rolled, so that's so crazy to me. I mean, I literally love the White Wolf. That was the introduction scene. Moving on, I think the next thing I want to talk about is a little bit later in the episode, because there's a lot of like build up in this episode. We get to see a lot with Sharon Carter, but I still don't really understand. I honestly think she might be the power broker. There's a high chance that she's the power broker, or she's been working with the power broker while she's been in Madripoor. So there's a high chance of both of those things. I'm just excited to see where Sharon Carter's storyline goes, because she was only introduced last episode, but it seems like she has a pretty vital role in terms of the power broker stuff. So I'm excited to see that. And then we also got Mother Madrona's, I think that's how you say her name, or I think that's her name, I'm not even sure. Mother Madrona's or Mother Madonna's funeral. This was probably the peak of the episode when it came to suspense, because I feel like we all knew US Agent was going to turn bad by the end of the episode because of that behind the scenes and then the blood on the shield part of the TV spot. I feel like we all knew he was going to turn bad, so that wasn't nearly as suspenseful for me personally. This scene, whenever US Agent is basically about to like ruin the conversation between Sam and Karli, is so suspenseful. I loved it so much. And like, I knew US Agent was gonna just barge in there because he's so impatient and annoying about everything, but I didn't expect it to end like that, and it was super cool. I love the way they played out that scene with implementing every single one of the characters. It wasn't focused on mainly one character. We also got a lot of Karli in that scene, obviously, because it was Sam and Karli talking. It was a great scene overall. I think the biggest thing to come out of that whole sequence is just Zemo smashing all of the vials of super soldier serum, and then Walker takes one of the vials, and then after that we kind of see like a little like de-escalation when it comes to tone of the episode, and it was just Walker and Battlestar talking in like a mall area or something, and then Walker was like, should I take the super soldier serum? And he asked Battlestar, he's like, do you think you should take it, or would you take the super soldier serum if you were in my spot? He said yes, without a doubt. And then by the end of the episode, we see that it seems like Walker did take the super soldier serum, because he broke this metal bat in half, or bent it in half around this guy's hands. So I'm just excited to see where the series goes with that. Literally that specific thing, just him having the super soldier serum makes this series go to a completely different level of what the heck is going to happen by the end of the series. And then we have the Wakandian army coming for Zemo. Now this is definitely the best scene in the episode when it comes to fights. The final fight scene, and then the fight scene prior at Mother Madonna's funeral, that was cool and all, but that wasn't anything compared to this Wakandian army one. It was just so much going on. It was the Wakandian army against the US Agent and Battlestar, and then they were about to kill both of them, so Bucky and Sam had to step in, and then the chick literally took off Bucky's arm. She like tapped his shoulder, and his entire arm came off, which is super crazy. I didn't know they could do that, and apparently neither did Bucky. From the spears to the shields, this like fight scene itself was so so insane. And then we also realized, like, when we get that realization at the end of the fight scene, that Walker, like, kind of is starting to, like, come to the conclusion that literally he can't beat people without the super soldier serum. Like, those Wakandian army people are literally not super soldiers. They're just normal warriors who have trained their entire life. And then he realizes he can't even beat them. So that's probably why he ends up taking the super serum at the end. And then I think the biggest thing, honestly, to come out of all that is Zemo escaping. Zemo escaping, I mean, we literally get no mention of him after this scene. So I'm excited to see where he goes and what his character does after this. Does he meet back up with Sam and Bucky, or what happens? I mean, there's like so many questions to ask at the end of the episode, at this end of the episode. But now I want to move on to the final battle scene, the knife fight that I've been waiting for since the trailers and the TV spots and everything. It was so crazy. It definitely lived up to my hype. Bucky using that knife, and then the Flag Smasher using the knife, him flipping out. I love my knife fights if it's well choreographed, and this one was definitely well choreographed. Not nearly as good as the Winter Soldier one, but still, it was pretty good. And then we got Sam, Bucky, Walker fighting side by side. Honestly, it wasn't that much of an eyesore. I actually liked them fighting side by side. It seemed like they had good chemistry, but then again, they did have to fight together. They didn't really have a chance, or else the Flag Smashers would have whooped them. And then Lamar dies. Now, this is probably the most influential part of the episode, because this is what causes John Walker to snap. Literally, you can hear the ringing in his ears. They literally put that as a sound effect, like the ring that he would hear in his ears when he's like transforming into something evil, I guess you could say. It was the little like snap, you could feel it inside John Walker's head. And then he kills the Flag Smasher in front of the public. He has no mercy. He literally gets a shield and bashes his neck into the staircase, and it was just insane. I mean, I knew it was happening, but even in the moment, it just felt so crazy, because I never felt like Marvel would go in that direction. I wish they showed a little bit more of him hitting them, because the camera angles were kind of weird. They're obviously trying to go around that hump of they don't want to make the episode rated mature, so they kind of had to cut out a few parts of the blood stuff. So it makes sense, but I definitely would have loved to see a little bit more of a gory cut of it. But nevertheless, it was a great episode. My overall thoughts on this episode, I loved the episode as a whole, but the series as a whole is still a little bit iffy in my opinion, because I'm not invested in these stories. I'm invested in John Walker's arc by itself. I'm invested in Falcon's arc, and I'm invested in Sam and Bucky's arc. So it's cool to see these arcs and how they're evolving over time. And overall, things still just seem really messy to me. Obviously, they're riding off of the power of these character arcs, which I love. I love these character arcs, but as a series as a whole, it's not really working for me. But this episode alone was so crazy. I loved all of the action sequences, and it just felt so jam-packed together, and everything correlated with one another. As of now, this is probably my favorite episode of the entire series, and I just can't wait to see what this series holds for the future. But guys, that's it for this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and you do enjoy these videos. Also turn notifications on so you don't miss any time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Peace.